Hi, my name is Jesslyn, and this is a video on how to solve systems of equations through elimination. So through elimination, this is actually my favorite. And again, we are learning graphing, substitution, elimination. You choose which one you would like to solve and use the best. So elimination. So 5x, with elimination, I write the equations on top of each other, like one under the other. So 5x plus 3y equals 11, and then 5x minus 2y equals 1. For elimination, the first step is you are looking for the variable that has the same coefficient. If it doesn't have the same coefficient, then we'll get to that later. But in this case, we see that the x both have 5. So that is the one we're going to eliminate. Now we have to decide, are we going to eliminate it by doing addition or subtraction? Well, if I add, because this is a positive 5 and a positive 5, if I add 5 plus 5, I get 10x, so that didn't eliminate it. So I'm not adding these equations. I'm going to be subtracting them because 5 minus 5 is 0, so it eliminates it. Now it gets a little tricky. You have to know your integer rules because this is 3 minus a negative 2. So 3 minus a negative 2 is a positive 5y. And then 11 minus 1, because they're both positive, is 10. And then we've eliminated it, and we have an equation that we want to solve. So divided by 5 on both sides, y is equal to 2. And to solve for x, all we do is plug it back into one of these equations and solve for x. So I'm going to plug it back into that first equation. 5x plus 3y, so 3 times 2 equals 11. So I plugged in 2 back to that equation, and I'm going to solve for x now. So 5x plus 6 equals 11, and then 5x equals 5, because we subtract 6 from both sides. This is solving equations. And then divide by 5, x is equal to 1. So 1, 2 is where these two lines intersect if we were to graph them, because x equals 1 and y equals 2. Okay, let's do another example. Another example, we have x plus y equals 10, and then 5x minus y equals 2. So again, we're looking for variables that have the same coefficient. In this case, y, both have the coefficient of 1. So now we got to see if we need to add or subtract. Well, this is y minus a negative y. That would give me a 2y, so we're not subtracting. But if we add, we have y plus a negative y, which gives me 0, because 1 plus a negative 1 is 0. Now, so we're adding these. So 5x plus x is 6x, because remember, this is understood as a coefficient of 1 when it's not there, so 6x. And then 10 plus 2 is 12. So we have 6x equals 12. We are going to solve for this, and we get x is equal to 2. And then to find y, we just plug it back into either one of these equations. I'm going to do the x plus y. So instead of writing x, I'm writing 2 plus y equals 10. And then I solve for that. Subtract 2 from both sides. Y is going to equal 8. So in this case, where it crosses, where these two lines intersect, is 2, 8. 2, 8. Very good. Let's do one last example. So in this example, 5x plus y equals 9, and 10x minus 7y equals negative 18. In this case, there is not, x has a coefficient of 10 and 5, and y has a coefficient of 1 and 7. So there's nothing we can eliminate. But we can make it. I see that since this has a coefficient of 1, it'd be really easy to make it a coefficient of 7 by multiplying everything in that equation by 7. If you multiply one of them by a number, you have to multiply everything in that equation. Otherwise, you're changing the equation. So I'm going to multiply this first equation by 7. 7 times 5 is 35x. 7 times y is 7y, and then 7 times 9 is 63. And so now I've created two equations where there is the same coefficient for one of the variables. Y has the coefficient of 7. Okay, so now I have to decide whether I add or subtract. Well, 7 minus -7 doesn't eliminate it, but 7 plus a -7 will eliminate it. So we're adding. 35x plus 10x is 45x. And then 63 plus a -18. 63 plus a -18 is 45. Divide by 45 on both sides, and x is going to equal 1. Okay, so now we know that x equals 1. We want to take the original equation and plug it back in. So I'm going to plug it back into the original equation of that 5x plus y equals 9. So 5x, so 5 times 1, plus y equals 9, and I'm going to solve this. So I took this into the original equation and plugged x for 1. So 5 times 1 is 5, so 5 plus y equals 9. Subtract both sides with 5, so y is going to equal 4. So in this case, where they cross is 1, 4. 1, 4. And that is how you solve by using process of elimination, which is my favorite. Thank you for watching. Bye.